was 6, I started going to work with my grandmother on Friday nights. I'd sit there quietly on a stool, watching her and her colleagues. They sat there shoulder to shoulder. Some would fold things, others would add to the pot. Most were smoking, all were gambling. My grandmother was a professional card player, and she brought me to her card game because I was her good luck charm. What I learned at an early age is that jobs came in all shapes and sizes. At 9, I started working in our family restaurant, Joe's Drive-In, which was neither owned by Joe nor a drive-in. But I worked 3 shifts a week there, prepping, cleaning, frying, baking, all alongside 3 generations of my family. There, I learned that work was a very social experience. Now, you may be wondering about the legality of gambling and child labor. Well, this was Louisiana in the 1970s, so I think it was okay. At 12, I went legit. I thought I was going to be a podiatrist. Don't ask me why. We all have wacky reasons as to why we choose the careers we choose. But I thought I was going to be a podiatrist until that summer. I went to the pool and I saw grown-ups' feet for the first time in real, bold, big life. After that, thoughts of podiatry were parts of my past. I went to school for 10 years to become a psychologist. How did I end up there? Well, I always wanted to make people happy. And there was this summer where I binge-watched old Bob Newhart episodes. And I thought that was a great career. That's a great career for me. And I became a psychologist after 10 quick years of college. I got out and I was studying what was right with people. So I became a positive psychologist, studying what was right with people. And today I want to talk about the emotional fruits of labor. The emotional fruits of labor. I want to talk about what life gives you when you love your job. And since I've been researching this, I have lived differently. I work differently. And I hope the same happens for you. Now, even though I look for people who love their jobs all the time, I meet people who don't like their jobs quite often. In fact, they have this uncanny ability to find me and sit next to me on long flights. And I learn a lot about the jobs they hate. Now, the reason I think these people talk so much about the jobs they hate is because they're in pain. They're in pain. I know. I've been a job hater. I've been in that pain. You spend a third of your life going to a job that makes you miserable. Going to a job that makes you miserable. And you don't get to do what you do best. You don't get to shine. You don't get praise and recognition. And you work for this boss that you secretly call a soul-sucking happiness vampire. I hope she's not here. And it just drains me. But I also meet a whole lot of people that love their jobs. The first person I ever knew who loved his job was my Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray was just this fascinating enigma to me. He would swoop into our little town of New Iberia, Louisiana, and just change my life. My life would go from black and white to color when Uncle Ray was in town. And he just had this way about it. While other people were talking about jobs they hated and clearing my grandmother's living room, Uncle Ray would captivate us with talk of the travel agent job he loved. So let me tell you a little bit about his job. He started in the travel industry in a job that wasn't